Okay, Leo, what's going on? So happy to be here. Like, literally ecstatic, honestly. I'm so excited. Okay. Welcome. My name is Crystal. If you don't know that already, this is Exist in Love and Tarot. And we are just getting started on this channel, and I'm just so excited. I've been practicing mediumship, astrology, tarot for 10 years at least. And yeah, I'm from New York, not the New York that you're probably thinking. But it's pretty cool over here. It's pretty nice most of the time till winter comes, which is not most of the time, but it's okay. We have skiing. All right, let's see what's coming through for Leo. Feel free to check out the astrology overview for July. We did kind of dip into the beginning of the year and the end of the year, and that's because I'm kind of new on YouTube and I just wanted to give everyone a feel of how I read, and also just to kind of, you know, for anyone who wanted it, to just give that overview of the whole year and everything we've been through. We're at a big turning point in the year. So yeah, that was a very powerful video. And Leo, you got a lot going on. I mean, we have the Mercury retrograde happening in Leo on the 18th. When I was meditating on our energy before the reading, the Ace of Pentacles fell out. And we also have the Sun entering Leo on 7/22. A lot of abundant energy. Seven of Pentacles just fell out. A lot of abundant energy around this time and just around you guys right now. We have that new moon in Leo on the 24th. And then we have Lionsgate. Your season is just really powerful. So yeah, let's see what comes through in the reading. So I like to read, wow, the Strength card. Look at that, your card. I'm using Mary Jo's deck, Souls on Fire Tarot, over at Soulful Revolution. Love her so much. Anyways. So, the past, yeah, I didn't even say this because it fell out right at the beginning, but the Lover's card fell out, Seven of Pentacles, and the Strength card. It's a powerful start. So we are looking, got the Knight of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, and this reading is for July. I mean, that's in the title, I guess you already know that. Ooh, and that Ace of Pentacles popped out. Okay. Ooh, this is, yeah, there's a lot going on here, y'all. Bring it back down, y'all. One hop this time. Why am I saying that? Are you going to a wedding? Are you attending a wedding? I feel like people play that at a wedding. Especially when you're an adult. Where else are you going to hear that? Anyway, the Hierophant. The Hierophant just popped out. Let's see what else we got going on in the future. The Page of Swords. And the Knight of Wands and the King of Pentacles. Okay. And the King of Wands in the bottom. Girl or guy or they. What is going on? Okay. The astrology is really powerful. I do highly recommend going over and watching that video. It is in the link. There's a link in the description box below if you want to see that. But there's just a ton of energy happening right now, and I do kind of want to make a couple points. I just have my journal over here with my kind of the summary of the astrology going on right now. Yeah, Mercury is in Leo at the beginning of this month, and then it will go retrograde on the 18th. And what I want to say, though, is that we had Neptune and Saturn both kind of moving throughout Pisces and Aries. We have that pretty much all year. But I guess I will give you a summary of just like that energy, and why I'm mentioning it is because it's very much like we're getting a lot of clarity at this time of like who we are and what we truly want and desire. And Saturn is helping us to make that like real in the tangible world. So I guess I can sum it up for you. There you go. But in the past, you had the Lover's card, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Strength card. How beautiful. I don't know if you may have had a relationship come together or a partnership of some sort come together that seemed to really up-level you or help you in like an actual what do I want to say? A tangible way, like a physical way. So let's kind of look just a little more into this Lover's card. I kind of want to see what that's about. Ooh! Sorry, I'm getting really excited. The Emperor and the Queen of Wands just came out. The Emperor and the Queen of Wands. Okay, so I'm definitely picking up this is some relationship energy happening in the past, in the recent past. And I just love this Strength card coming out. It feels like whatever this union or dynamic is, it feels very powerful. I mean, the Emperor, that combination of all the kings, and then you got that Queen of Wands. Like, I mean, whatever this is, even if it's just, it's very fiery. It's very fiery. We got that Queen of Swords on the bottom. So I don't know if this is, okay, let's just stay up here for now. But basically, I'm picking up on just like a very fiery connection that is helping you up level nonetheless. If it's meant to stick around or not, like that's what it's doing, and that's really awesome. We love that. And we do have that King of Wands over here, so that's really cool. And you know what? Even if this, like, whatever this fiery, passionate connection that came in and kind of helped you really see yourself in a clear way, if it's meant to stay or not, that's great and dandy. If not, I feel like there's this other energy here. So let's just keep going with the reading and see what comes out. But we have no, I gotta ask about the Emperor. That was too many cards. We're not gonna take any of those. Oh my god, none of them flipped. Oh my gosh, I gotta get used to talking on camera. Here we go. When you're reading tarot, all these messages come through so fast, and it's just like, where do I go? Where do I go? All right, here we go. This Emperor, Queen of Cups. Okay. Let's see what else. What else? What is the purpose of this Emperor in this Queen of Wands connection? I want to know a little more. Oh, okay. That's what I was picking up on, so I'm glad I asked. Okay, I don't know if this initial connection coming together is meant to stay. but it's very passionate, it's very fiery, and it could be in a work situation or outside of work. It could just be, you know, even if it passionate and fiery doesn't necessarily mean it has to be like sexual necessarily, but somebody who just like sees you and is like, yes, like go queen. But things that start fiery don't always last, and I think whatever it is though, it's like really empowering you, even if like things shift down the line, or maybe it's not a relationship, maybe it's a karmic relationship, maybe not meant to stay, but it's empowering you and pushing you into who you truly are. Yeah, you're blooming. And you're starting to see the fruits of your labors. But pulling cards on this Emperor, we got the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Swords in reverse. So I got this feeling of kind of like putting this gentleman on a pedestal, and it was never really about him or them or she. This energy, the Emperor energy, is a masculine energy, and it is, it can be rigid or coming from a place of like wanting power, and maybe not like fully consciously, you know, but it kind of does feel like a little bit of a power dynamic, and those can be very transformative because people who are in either positions of power or like in a dynamic, they're in a position of power, whether it be in a work situation or not, when there's that like level of authority, and even if it's in a toxic like way, if they choose to approach that power in a toxic way, or like, okay, for example, having a shitty boss who's like really believes in you, and then it turns out like they're not the greatest at the end of the day. But that doesn't mean that they didn't have like impact in your life. Do you see what I'm saying? I think two things can be true, but it's like it wasn't really about them to begin with. Like they were just a catalyst for you to recognize that it's not coming from them. It's not, the power's not coming from them, and they don't need to fill your cup for you to be powerful. There it is. They don't need to fill your cup for you to be powerful. And that is, I think, part of the Divine Feminine's lessons in life. All of us, all of our Divine Feminine energy is like, the power is within us. It always was, and it always will be. And it's when we understand our own worth, our own gifts, and what we're here to do, that we can really begin to lean into that and not outsource it from another person. Wow, that energy just went from to like really grounded and calm. So that's interesting. I was like super excited and swept away, and then I was like, whoa, like let me take a step back. So that's telling me something about this connection too. I feel like this could have really swept you off your feet at first and really like inspired you in ways. But you might see cracks within the foundation of this connection, or the dynamic of this of this dynamic of this connection, in a way that's empowering to you though. And yeah, that Knight of Swords in reverse just feels like kind of how I was feeling earlier, of like feeling really swept up off my feet and kind of like disoriented. That's kind of like, and not necessarily in a bad way, but in a way that you might be giving your power away. And then we have that Pisces. I said that because it's the Hangman. They have the fish on their shirt. It's not the Pisces anything. Well, it does represent Pisces, but we have the Hangman and that Devil card there. So I feel like you're gonna, if you don't already see it, you're gonna see the karmic dynamic in this relationship, or the karmic energy in this relationship, from a new perspective with that Hangman upright. Well, in reverse, but he's upright, you know? So I think you will be seeing this relationship from a different perspective sooner rather than later. Let's keep going. We got the Knight of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. Girl, you got this. You're good. Girl, guy, they. You're good. You got this. Knight of Pentacles. Grounded. Student. Slow moving energy. That Nine of Swords, though, there's something there that, oh, I wanted to also mention, you had that Four of Swords on the bottom. So I think the situation that we just talked about, and this new perspective shift, you will find healing in it. Let's clarify this. This popped out, so I'm going to take this one, but I want to clarify this Knight of Pentacles. Page of Wands. Okay, so I feel like you're going to have the Sun card on the bottom. I feel like you're going to have opportunities come in that might seem small at first, and let's pull a card on this Nine of Swords. What's that about? It feels like you might be trapped in some rumination in the mind, some difficult thought patterns coming up. Just try to be gentle with yourself. You know, things happen. The mind can take over at times, and we don't need to shame ourselves about that. Let's see what that Nine of Swords is about, though, and if we can try to alleviate any worry that might be there. The Two of Wands. Okay, there might be some sadness. Yeah, the Star card on the bottom. I think there might be some sadness about whatever that situation was in the past that really swept you off your feet. But knowing that you truly are able to manifest what it is that you want and what is in alignment with your soul. And maybe just needing to take some time to understand kind of what went down in the past and what it was about the situation that didn't align with you, or didn't, like, what patterns were there for you to look at more deeply. Because I feel like these new opportunities are coming towards you, and it's like, you might be so wrapped up in your head that you're either not seeing them, or just like kind of being like, okay, universe, like, this isn't what I wanted though. And, you know, something that comes through to me now while I'm saying this is, earlier, before I started the readings, I was outside in my backyard meditating. And I was talking out loud to Spirit, asking to be shown a cardinal. And I was standing there and I was waiting. And I wasn't waiting. I was kind of anxious at first. I was like, oh, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Like, I felt that in the back of my head kind of playing as I was meditating. But then I was like, what if I just shifted my energy for just a second, even just a minute, where I was like, that cardinal's going to come. That cardinal's going to come no matter what. And I felt this deep shift, like, in my energy immediately. And even in the way I was, like, perceiving the world around me. And as I sat in that energy for maybe a minute, no, a cardinal did not fly by my face, but a dragonfly flew by. And it was just this moment of like, you know, we ask the universe for things, and sometimes it's not what we're asking has the energy. It's like we know energetically what we want, and we're saying it's this thing. But what the energy of what we really want is actually this thing. So, for example, you know, I asked to see a cardinal, but really energetically, maybe I actually needed the energy of the symbolism of the dragonfly, which I haven't looked up yet, and I don't really know, like, exactly what that means off the top of my head. Feel free to look it up if you feel so called to do. But yeah, sometimes what we truly want and desire and need, I think, isn't what we think we want, you know? It's like liking a guy or a girl or anyone. And, you know, you're like this or something better. And you kind of want it to be that person, but it doesn't work out and something better comes along, you know? So you never know what's going to happen. And I think if we're holding on to past situations or feelings, that's something to look at. I mean, it's not something to just blow over and be like, I'm being dramatic or whatever. It's like there's wounds there. There's pain there that needs to be addressed, and that's why you met that person. That's why it's being triggered. That's why it's being shown to you, so that you can hopefully move through it and you know, step into deeper alignment to whatever truly is meant for you. And yeah, I feel complete in that message. So, well, I will say one more thing just about surrender is like when we really can surrender deeply to the path, at the end of the day, you know, not to be like this, but we are all gonna die. I don't mean to be like that, but like, you never know what's gonna happen. So just keep living, you know, keep living. And I think learning how to find that internal peace within. Okay, let's look at, we have this Hierophant at the bottom, the Page of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. So that's some pretty potent energy too. The Hierophant talks about relationships. The Page of Swords, clearing, and the Knight of Wands, energy rushing in. So really potent stuff. Yeah, it just seems like you're doing more work than you even realize internally. And I think in the future, like as time passes and time goes on, you're gonna start to see like the fruits of all of everything that you've gone through, bring you into new levels. So I want to dive deeper into this. I dove pretty deep, deeper than I was expecting. So I want to keep going into the extended. If you feel aligned with this message and want to continue, please follow me over there. I am feeling, I will say, a lot of fire energy and earth energy. So I'll pull cards for all the fire signs in case you're dealing with a fire sign. And yeah, that feels good to me. I'll do the earth signs too. I'm feeling called to do the earth signs too. And I want to dive into this future energy more. Overall, I feel like you're moving through a lot of big relationship lessons. And remember, you're healing for more than just you. You're healing for generations before you. So keep being gentle with yourself. And yeah, if you feel so called, I'm going to dive deeper into this Ace of Pentacles, what this opportunity might be. I want to dive deeper into this King of Wands and all the fire signs and earth signs. And we also have that King of Pentacles over here. And we're going to dive more into the future of what this Hierophant is, what relationships are coming forward, what that clarity, that newfound clarity is bringing in, and that Knight of Wands energy. Again, lots of fire energy, fast moving. So yeah, let's keep going. I'll see you over there.